Hi guys, we're going to work on applying filters and effects to the tombstone. So the first thing you do is I'll go ahead and X out of this so I can do this with you. You're going to go to File, and I'm on page 222, at the very top. Go to File, Open, and you're going to go to the Student G drive. (2018) book tutorial files, lesson 9, and you're going to open up the T1, that's the tombstone. Alright, then you are going to, in the tool panel, click the default foreground and background color icon, which it's already clicked on here, and choose Filter, Render, Filter, and then you're going to go to Render and Clouds. And I can see that I definitely did something wrong here, so I'm going to go to Edit, Step Back, go back to, so that brings it back to the previous. What I was supposed to do is go to Filter, and then Render, and then you need to put Difference Clouds, and that'll affect the clouds. The clouds will only affect the main image. Next thing we're going to go to is Filter, Blur Gallery, Iris Blur. Filter, Blur Gallery, Iris Blur. In the image window, drag the Iris Blur ellipse so that the top of the tombstone is in focus. And you guys are familiar with this process from lesson 5. Then you're going to hit OK. Step 7. In the brightness, click the brightness and contrast icon in the adjustments panel. So here's your adjustments panel. And you're going to click the brightness. And your book actually has a picture of it on page 223. But the brightness and contrast is right here. If you hover, you can see the different labels. We're going to click the brightness and contrast. And move the brightness slider to 70. Or you can highlight it, type 70, and enter. Click the channel mixer icon in the adjustments panel. Right here. In the properties panel, choose green from the output channel menu. And change the green value to 37. And the blue value to 108, positive 108. The tombstone takes on a green cast. Click the exposure icon in the adjustments panel. Here we have the exposure icon. And move the exposure slider to positive 0.90 to brighten the lighter areas of the image. Ooh, that's really bright. Okay. 0.89, 0.90, same thing, right? Okay. So, you guys can see that we've made several adjustments here. Your book now wants to teach you a little bit about using the history panel. If you ever want to go back and undo some of the things you've done, let's say you've just taken this a little bit too far. So you're going to open up your history panel. If you don't see history written on any of your tabs, you click this little 1, 2, 3 icon, and that's your history panel. Also, if you don't see it, you can go to Windows and then go to History. Once you're at your history panel, you're going to drag the bottom of the panel down so that you can see all of the steps that you've created. Click the Blur Gallery State in the History panel. We go back to that Blur Gallery State. Click the Modify Channel Mixer layer in the History panel. Click the Difference Clouds in the History panel. Alright, so we're going to stay at this point right here, which is basically what it was when we opened it. Now we're going to choose Filter, Noise, Add Noise. Filter, Noise, and Add Noise. In the Add Noise dialog box, set the amount to 3%. Select Gaussian Blur, or just Gaussian, which does blur it, and select Monochromatic. And hit OK. We're going to turn the page. We're now on page 226. Now we're going to choose Filter, Render, Lighting Effects. Going to think for a couple of minutes. Ooh, nice. In the options bar, choose flashlight from the preset menu. So here's your option bar and presets. We're going to click on here and choose flashlight. Here we go. In the Properties panel, click the color swatch, select a light blue color, and then click OK. We want a light blue. This is what we're looking at. This is what I'm looking at right here. And then hit OK. In the image window, drag the light source to the upper third of the tombstone centered over the letters Rest in Peace, R.I.P. Cool. In the Properties panel, change the ambiance to 45. Actually, 46. Click OK in the options bar to select the lighting effects settings. Save the file, and I have to save as, and I have to go to my H drive under Computer Graphics. And that concludes the video for creating the tombstone.